intersection of my deepest needs. You were there, I knew, now you know.
Hi there, Taurus. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly January 2020 reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you already to my channel, hello. And for those of you haven't in a long time, welcome back. So, Happy New Year, Taurus. What have you guys been doing with your New Year's holiday? I didn't do much because on New Year's Eve in Jakarta, we had a massive flood and I didn't get affected, but I just couldn't go anywhere. Not gonna risk it because, you know, I literally saw in the news there are like cars being swept away by massive floods and I'm like, no, that's not happening to my car. That's not gonna happen to my car. So I just stayed home. What are the challenges? Judgment as the overall challenge. I mean, let's talk about your overall energy for the now. You have the Seven of Swords, you have the Page of Wands, and you also have the Three of Wands. So if you guys are only dealing with one person, you kind of like feel a little bit distant from your partner. Yes, but you're not really communicating it, or you're not even really showing it because you have the Seven of Swords in there. There is a crippling doubt inside of your head. And you're just going to want to assess the situations. You want to give time and assess the situation from a macroscopic point of view. And you're more like, okay, well, let's see what happens. It's too early for me to be making a decision right now. Like, I still do want to manifest this because you have the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands in this particular deck of mine shows somebody who tried to manifest something. Is it focusing? Oh yeah, who was trying to manifest something, but deep down inside, you cannot help but to feel that there has been a bit of a distance between both of you and your partner. It's either there is a principal issue, like maybe religion differences or distant differences, whatever, or like you're much more monogamous and they're not really monogamous or whatever that is, but there is a principal issues. There has been a certain issue that is like a pillar, or that is like obstacles between you and the other person, but you're not really showing it. Or it could actually means that you feel that you and the person that you love started to be very, very separated very, very much. And it could be like somebody that your ex that you missed, or someone that you've not been talking to, and then you're starting to realize, if you look back and you look at this person, oh wow, you know, how time has passed between us and how I think you're a whole lot different person than you were in the past. And, you know, it just feels so weird because I feel the distance between us. But you're not really showing because you have the Seven of Swords. So you're keeping your cards together. You're not really showing it to them. Seven of Swords is not always a bad thing, you know, because, you know, probably for some Taurian out there, you know, because of the distance, you do have the temptations to cheat. But Seven of Swords is not always about cheating. It's sometimes, for me, it talks about, you know, somebody who likes to ice skate about their emotions, or it could mean somebody who just not revealing all of their cards or not revealing all their true emotions. But I feel like from your side, it's much more because you just want to assess the situations and you just want to give time. So what is the challenge, the overall challenge of this relationship? You have the Wheel of the Year and you also have the Judgment card. So you could be dealing with a fire sign, you could be dealing with an air sign, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could be dealing with Sagittarius. But, you know, Wheel of Fortune talks about situations. Wheel of Fortune also talks about, this is the overall challenge, yeah, so I cannot really pinpoint who is doing what to who. But the Wheel of Fortune, it could be talking about, you know, the universe or how things are in and now. It's not really supporting this relationship into becoming something that you wish it would be. You know, it could be the distance. It could be work gets in the way. I mean, you're too busy or they're too busy. It could be some family members who is not agreeing to this relationship. It could be anything. But situation is not really supporting this relationship to make it happen. And one person in this relationship makes that obstacle seems to be bigger than it actually is. I mean, it could be, you know, it could be there's a solutions to that, but you know, somebody in this relationship tends to make it bigger than it actually is. Wheel of Fortune also talks about the lack of, you know, when we are in a honeymoon phase in our relationship, we feel like a butterflies in our stomachs, we feel so giddy, we feel so expansive, you know, we have an optimistic side of it and all that. The way that I see Wheel of Fortune in overall challenge is like Jupiter in Capricorn. It's a very, very debilitated planet, right? And now we're in an area where we have Jupiter in Capricorn. It's like you wanted to expand, but it's like the situations, the pressure from the outside world, the limits, the boundaries that is being set upon you, it's kind of like makes it seems a bit impossible for this relationship to grow. Wheel of Fortune also talks about, as the overall challenge also talks about the tendencies to not be optimistic about it, and then the crippling thoughts of what happened in the past is starting to go up. Judgment. I really feel that this is much more Jupiter in Capricorn doing, because you literally have a Jupiter in Capricorn card. So you guys are being forced to be much more practical, to be much more pragmaticals and all that. You know, it kind of like reminds me of, this is going off topic, but and by the way, if you're Indonesian, actually make an astrological explanation about this Jupiter in Capricorn in Light Givers channel. So if you're interested, if you're Indonesia, I mean, because I speak in Bahasa in that video, you might want to check that video out. So in the past, this person was the hangman. So this person had faith in this relationship up to the point that they're willing to become a very, very passive person for you. So they're waiting on you, and they're also trying to understand you a lot better. Not at once. They're kind of like seeing you from a distance. They still feel do the hot for you, but it's for them like, you know what? Just let me rest for a little bit. Let me kind of like try to understand Taurus like a lot better. You have the Emperor card, and you also have the Death card. So you went through a period where you feel like you need to transform yourself in a certain type of way, and you're being very, very aggressive, should I say? Or you're being very, very stubborn about it, because Emperor always stands in the four corners, right? They like stabilities, and it's essential for them to have stabilities. And I feel like that's from your side. You feel that there are so many things in your life that you need to take care of, that you feel that, you know what, like it's fine. I'm just going to be dealing with it one by one. And now I feel like you guys are much more mirroring their behavior. Again, you know, like you see the distance, you're still trying to manifest this relationship, but again, you're not really putting 100% attention or focus. If this is like a relationship that you have not been talking for one another for a very long time, like you're just looking at them, but you want to manifest it, where you're like, yeah, wait and see. You know, I'm not going to be revealing things. I'm just want to be depending on my scales. You know, you have the Justice card here, so you're weighing the pros and cons. You're assessing them. You're probably doing like a little bit of investigative research. You're just giving time. You know, you're trying to see things in a very, very macroscopic point of view. You have this belief that, you know, if it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. I'm just going to be very, very patient. This is one of the best qualities that I love and I adore a lot about Taurus, is that you're patient, because I could never do this. All our Sagittarius are being depicted as a temperance, you know, but we're not that patient, actually. Because, so you have the Three of Pentacles. There's still, you know, like there's still the thoughts, you know, from your side and from their side to have a talk with one another and see where it did wrong, where is the problem is, and all that. But they're going crazy simply because you are kind of like mirroring them. You know, it's like you're making a judgment, but you're not really saying it out loud. You know what I mean? And they're not really keen with the idea to give time. They want certainty right now. They're kind of like, yeah. Okay, so if our problem is distance, then how are we going to be doing with it? And you guys are like, well, we'll see what happens. And you're like, I'm not playing that. They're like that. They're going crazy because they feel like you guys are confusing. They're confused. And for them, it makes matter worse because you guys are not communicating it with them. If this is a relationship that has been happening for a very long time, you probably are doing like a clapback moment because this person did the same thing to you in the past. You might be dealing with Libra or Sagittarius. But you have all these major arcana, in your now and in your past card. It really is about divine intervention. For you to grow into somebody who speaks up your voice a lot more, for you to grow to be somebody who is not afraid to really communicate what is it that you need, what is it that you desire, for you to let go of the things that is not, the thing that is not healthy for you again, for you to be balanced between your logical and your emotional things, and for you to have faith in time. So yeah, be careful though, Taurus, because if you are really done with this person, then it's fine. But if you're not, you really not showing all your cards, you really not communicating your doubts or not giving any type of clarity or information or whatever that is, or you're trying to act cold or you're trying to ice skate above your emotions, is going to backfire on you. Because from their point of view, they feel that they have been, they think that they're patient, they're not. So, but they feel that you hurt them too, with all these confusions that is going on in the past and also in the now. So in order for them to protect their emotions so that they don't get hurt anymore, they would then become somebody with a cognitive dissonance theory, or having somebody who is having a bit of a confirmation bias. They would judge you so badly. And based off of that confirmation bias judgment that they make, they're fleeing. Because they feel that that's their path of healing. What is healing when it's based off of confirmation bias? If it was in a proposition, I'd be okay, but this high priestess and in reverse, it really is about confirmation bias. So it's like because if they're hurt, they'd go looking for books or videos on YouTube that really says that you are something that they are diagnosing you with, like somebody like a narcissistic or a bipolar or whatever, or a liar or a cheater, or I don't know, like an avoidant person in a relationship or whatever that is. And they're being very, very confirmation biased. Like every video that they feel that is talking about you in a bad light, they believe in it. And why do they believe in it? Because in that, they'd find the strength to not think about you anymore. And they are going to go into a path where they think it's about healing, but again, it's a confirmation bias. If it was in a proposition, I'd say, yeah, Taurus, you're a jerk, but this is in reverse. This is a confirmation bias. Or it could be the high priestess in reverse could be talking about confirmation bias, or it could be somebody who is exploring their sexuality. It could be that they're having rebounds and all that is because they believe that you did the same thing. And you're going to be the one left with the Five of Cups, mourning over it and still yet undecisive over it. So be careful of what you're doing right now. If you truly want them, kind of like it's a lot better for you to be communicating this stuff to them. But if you do not want them anymore, then it's fine. But just know that when the time comes, when they're having a bit of confirmation bias with you, and they're doing that just because they need to move away, just because they're doing that to protect themselves, don't cry over it. You know what I mean? Because tarot is all about cause and effect. It's not something that is set in stones. This is gonna get cut off, I think. Yeah. But anyway, that is it if you guys are dealing with one person. What happens if you guys are dealing with two people? So if you guys are dealing with two people, I feel like, you know, by the end of the day, I feel like you guys are going to be choosing you, and you guys are not going to be deciding on anything. You know, somebody here really likes you. That's going to be person B. So person B is somebody who finds you very hot, somebody who finds you very interesting because of your life lessons, or they see you as being a very, very evolved type of person. But you're not ready to jump into a relationship with this person or to label things with this person. Or even, I mean, if you guys are only dating one person, your reading ends a few seconds ago, all right? This is for two people scenarios. Yeah, you just are not ready to jump into a relationship with them. You just want to give time. You want to be as chill as possible. In the future, this person is then going to feel rejected, and they're going to feel a bit abandoned by you. So they're going to be fleeing, and you guys are like the Two of Swords. Well, I don't know, like we haven't spent enough time for me to decide whether I should pursue something with you or not. So you're going to be like the Two of Swords. You're going to be focusing a lot on you if you guys are dealing with two people. That's person B. What happens with person A? Person A is somebody that you finally had a voice to speak on. You know, somebody that you finally kind of like put some boundaries and limits into the relationship between you and them. This person has been waiting for you for a very long time because they're like the hangman, and they're trying to study your characteristic, your attitude. They probably try to study you astrologically by tarot readings or whatever that is. They did try to do that to you. And then in the now, though, this person is pretty overwhelmed because if you look very, very indifferent, you know, it's like you kind of know that they're away, but it's like you don't show it that you miss them, although you do. So in the future, this person is going to have a bit of a confirmation bias with you. You know, it's either they're going to have a confirmation bias, just like the one person scenarios, or they're going to be exploring their sexualities. They're going to have like rebounds or one night stands or whatever that is going to make you feel like the Five of Cups. You kind of like is mourning over it. But I feel like at the end of the day, you guys are going to be choosing you. You guys are going to be choosing your Ace of Cups, your fountains of hope, your fountains of motivations, and your fountains of inspiration, which is a good thing. All right. So I think that's it for my reading for you, Taurus. I'm sorry, very sorry for the long reading, but I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity through this reading. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Have a great day. I love you.
If I love you and you love me, let's plant a seed, watch it grow into a tree, baby. Why don't we grow some nectarines, baby? Why don't we grow a little